Hi, my name's Stuart Cameron. I'm the Watford Branch Secretary of the RMT, and we're on strike. This is our 90th day, I believe, of being taking industrial action. And basically, the reason that we're on strike today is not about the money. It's about the terms and conditions that this government are trying to rip up for my members who work on West Midlands trains, London North Western. All these people here are ticket office or station staff, platform staff, guards. None of them are train drivers. These are all on 20 odd grand a year. And the government are basically just trying to rip up their terms and conditions and make their working lives even harder than they already are.
Rip up their terms and conditions? What? Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah,
I'm not sure what you mean.
Sure. So one thing is they're going to close, the government are proposing closing all ticket offices. All ticket offices in the whole of the country will be shut. So you have disabled people, elderly people are not going to be able to purchase tickets. They don't use online ticketing, they can't use the ticket machines, you can't get advance tickets. So this is going to be a major problem for disabled people and the elderly in our society. Other terms and conditions are that they are trying to make these guys work longer hours, increase the working week, which in today's society is not adequate for a fair, home-based workplace life, balance. There's all sorts of things. They try to basically sack everyone and make them sign new contracts. So all the conditions of service that we've accumulated over the last 150 years are all going to be basically thrown in the bin, and then we're starting again. And it's just not on.
From what I hear is a mixed picture. Some of it is giving, scrapping all the contracts, coming in with new ones, and at the same time, is it also increasing their work hours potentially into weekends? I'm not sure which one it is. Is it one or the other, or is it both?
I can explain that.
Please.
So on a Sunday, the people that were with British Rail and the progressive companies since privatisation, depending on what contract you're on, what company you work for, sometimes Sundays is part of the working week. Sometimes Sundays is classed as overtime, although you're obliged to work a certain amount of Sundays. So basically all these guys here, they do work 7 days a week anyway. There is no need to change it. This is just the government being heavy-handed and just ripping through our conditions, basically.
A lot of people think, how can the government have any influence over a private company? Is British Rail or the company that you work for, these gentlemen and ladies work for, is it not a private company, therefore they can set their own rules?
Well, you'd think so, but unfortunately, all these companies, there's 14 train operating companies around the country, and they're all part of the RDG, which is the Rail Delivery Group. And the government controls that. The government controls the pay rises, the government controls what these companies can dictate to us, the workers. So it's the government that are the overall arm of this negotiations.
Okay. How many people here are working on the tracks?
None, because today, normally on our previous picket lines, we have Network Rail operations, which do all the signalling, and the maintenance guys that do all the track work, yeah? Their offer has gone out to them to referendum, so they're going to decide whether they want to accept the offer. And part of that was to not do these two strike days, this today and this Saturday. So that's gone out to them for consultation. The members will decide on whether they want to accept the offer or not.
And some people won't understand what the referendum is. Is it within their union, or is it a national thing that they'd go online to vote for?
No, it's an online referendum, so every member of Network Rail will have a chance to make their vote whether they want to accept the government's offer or reject. It's as simple as that. And there's no recommendation from the union, so it's up to the members.
That's really good to know. Some people might also say, We've all got it tough. All of us, well, the working class have it tough. And what's your reply to those that maybe don't have a union and afraid to go on strike because they literally need the money, and they don't feel they have any power or any say? Like, they might work in a shop, they might be, I don't know, Uber drivers, they could be anything.
I understand. I understand.
They say they might say going in strike is a luxury, or who are these people to come out?
Okay, well,
what would you say to that?
It's certainly not a luxury, because all these people here are losing money. They're not getting paid for being on strike today. And what I'd say to people that are in non-unionised areas is to get unionised. Go on the TUC website. They will point you to what union you can join. Anyone that works in this country can join a union. And the only way you're going to get better conditions, a better pay rise, a better way of living is by being in a union. And I really, really urge any non-members who are in industries that are not unionised to join a union.
What if they say I can't afford 20 quid a month?
That's not all unions charge 20 quid a month. Depends on what you earn. I mean, it can be as little as £5 a month. And I mean, £5 a month is a cup of coffee these days. Yeah. And if I can afford a cup of coffee, I can afford to join a union. Yeah.
And what about, I believe there's one union that's not affiliated to the Labour Party and that's so-called apolitical. What do you think of that particular union? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Well, I can tell you now.
Another 10 minutes time.
We are not affiliated to the Labour Party, the RMT. We was kicked out of the Labour Party. We were willing to work with any political party that furthers the interests of the working man.
So what's the argument that some like Tories would say, Labour, they're just funded by the unions, unions aren't apolitical, they're all to do with Labour. What's your response to anyone, whether they're in politics or just a general member?
Well, you must remember that the Labour Party was founded by the trade unions. The Labour Party are meant to be working on behalf of the trade unions. And at this moment, Keir Starmer, I can't see that he's doing a lot to represent trade unions.
Me too.
Okay, I'm going to thank you for your time. It's been absolutely educational.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye bye.